Question 1. A PMP certified project manager is leading an Agile project where the team is frequently facing scope creep requests from a vocal stakeholder during sprint execution. This causes disruptions and impacts the team's ability to meet sprint goals. What is the most appropriate Agile approach for the project manager to address this issue? A. Incorporate the new requests immediately to maintain stakeholder satisfaction and responsiveness. B. Direct the stakeholder to submit all new requests to the Change Control Board for formal review. C. Explain the Agile process to the stakeholder, emphasizing that new requests are prioritized during backlog refinement. D. Convene an urgent meeting with the development team to replan the current sprint and accommodate the requests. Answer: C. Explain the Agile process to the stakeholder, emphasizing that new requests are prioritized during backlog refinement. In Agile, scope is iteratively defined and prioritized rather than being rigidly fixed up front. The most appropriate action is to educate the stakeholder about the Agile process, explaining that while new ideas are welcome and valuable, they should be added to the product backlog for review and prioritization during backlog refinement, typically before the next sprint planning, ensuring the team's current sprint commitments are protected. This approach maintains flexibility and responsiveness while safeguarding the team's focus during the active sprint, preventing disruptive mid-sprint changes. Remember, Agile encourages adaptation but within structured processes to maintain team focus and predictability. Question 2. During a sprint review, stakeholders express disappointment because several completed features, while technically functional, do not fully meet their evolving business needs as understood at the project's outset. The product owner states these features were built exactly as described in the user stories. What Agile principle was most likely overlooked or insufficiently emphasized? A. Self-organizing teams and empowerment. B. Technical excellence and good design. C. Continuous attention to business value and stakeholder collaboration. D. Regular delivery of working software at the end of short iterations. Answer: C. Continuous attention to business value and stakeholder collaboration. This scenario highlights a disconnect between delivered functionality and true business value, despite adherence to initial user stories. In Agile, the focus extends beyond merely delivering working software to ensuring that the software actually addresses the evolving business needs and provides value to the stakeholders. The problem suggests a lack of continuous collaboration with stakeholders throughout the sprint to ensure their evolving needs are understood and incorporated, rather than just building to outdated specifications. Always involve stakeholders frequently to confirm that what is being built truly provides the desired business value. Question 3. A new Scrum Master joins an established Agile team and observes that team members frequently bypass the daily Scrum to work directly on tasks, claiming they communicate sufficiently outside the meeting. What should the Scrum Master do first to address this situation? A. Immediately cancel the daily Scrum, acknowledging the team's preference for direct communication. B. Mandate attendance at the daily Scrum, enforcing the event's purpose as a mandatory checkpoint. C. Facilitate a discussion with the team during a retrospective about the purpose and benefits of the daily Scrum. D. Report the non-compliance to the product owner and request their intervention to ensure adherence. Answer: C. Facilitate a discussion with the team during a retrospective about the purpose and benefits of the daily Scrum. The Scrum Master's role is to serve the team and foster a self-organizing environment, not to act as a dictator. If a core Scrum event is being neglected, the best approach is to help the team understand its value and purpose, rather than simply enforcing attendance. A retrospective provides a safe space for the team to reflect on their processes, identify why they are skipping the daily Scrum, and collaboratively decide if and how they can make it more valuable to them. This empowers the team to improve their own process rather than being told what to do, fostering a culture of continuous improvement. Question 4. An Agile team is struggling with frequent external interruptions during sprints, leading to missed commitments. These interruptions typically come from other departments requesting urgent, small tasks. What is the most effective Agile technique to manage these interruptions and protect the team's sprint focus? A. Implement a strict, no interruptions, policy and direct all requests to the product owner. B. Allocate a specific percentage of sprint capacity for ad hoc work during sprint planning. C. Use a Kanban board alongside the sprint backlog to visualize and limit work in progress for urgent tasks. D. Schedule daily office hours where team members are available to address external requests. Answer: C. Use a Kanban board alongside the sprint backlog to visualize and limit work in progress for urgent tasks. While all options have some merit, using a Kanban board for managing urgent, incoming requests alongside the sprint backlog is often the most effective Agile technique. It allows for the visualization of all work, including interruptions, and helps the team set work in progress, WIP, limits on these tasks. This ensures that while external requests are addressed, they do not overwhelm the team or constantly derail the sprint commitment, providing a structured way to handle emergent work without constant context switching. This approach balances responsiveness with protecting the sprint goal. Question 5. A project manager is working with an Agile team that consistently overestimates their capacity during sprint planning, resulting in unfinished stories by the sprint review. What is the most effective approach for the project manager to guide the team towards more realistic planning? A. Insist on smaller story points for all tasks to ensure they are completed within the sprint. B. Compare their velocity with other similar Agile teams to identify discrepancies and push for higher output. C. Facilitate a retrospective discussion focused on capacity planning and using historical velocity data. D. Take over the estimation process for the team to ensure accurate commitments are made. Answer: C. Facilitate a retrospective discussion focused on capacity planning and using historical velocity data. An Agile team should be self-organizing and empowered to estimate their own work and learn from their experiences. The project manager, acting in a servant leadership capacity, should guide the team to inspect and adapt their processes. Facilitating a retrospective focused on capacity planning, and encouraging the team to review their historical velocity, the amount of work they've completed in previous sprints, will allow them to identify patterns, understand their true capacity, and make more realistic commitments for future sprints. This approach empowers the team to improve their own forecasting without external imposition. Question 6. A project team is practicing Scrum, and during the daily Scrum, a team member frequently gives detailed updates on tasks completed yesterday and discusses extensively how they plan to complete tasks today, often running over the 15-minute time box. What Agile principle or practice is being violated, and how should it be addressed? A. Timeboxing. The Scrum Master should interrupt and redirect the discussion to remain within the time limit. B. Self-organization. The team should collaboratively agree on a penalty for exceeding the time limit. C. Transparency. The team member is not sharing enough details, and the Scrum Master should ask clarifying questions. D. Focus on the sprint goal. The team is discussing individual tasks rather than impediments, and the product owner should intervene. Answer: A. Timeboxing. The Scrum Master should interrupt and redirect the discussion to remain within the time limit. The daily Scrum is timeboxed to 15 minutes to ensure brevity and focus, serving as a quick synchronization meeting for the development team. A team member providing excessively detailed updates and extending the meeting is directly violating this timebox. The Scrum Master's role includes facilitating Scrum events and ensuring they adhere to their timeboxes and purpose, so gently interrupting and guiding the conversation back to the 3 core questions. What did you do yesterday? What will you do today? Are there any impediments? Is the appropriate action to maintain the meeting's efficiency and purpose? The goal is a quick daily plan, not a detailed status report. Question 7. A PMP project manager is overseeing a complex product development initiative using an Agile approach. The product has multiple interdependent components, and several teams are working in parallel. How should the project manager primarily ensure alignment and integration across these multiple Agile teams? A. Implement a strict top-down communication plan with detailed inter-team dependencies tracked via Gantt charts. B. Designate a central integration team responsible for merging all code and resolving conflicts. C. Promote frequent communication, cross-team synchronization meetings, and shared architectural understanding. D. Require each team to report progress weekly to a steering committee for integration oversight. Answer: C. Promote frequent communication, cross-team synchronization meetings, and shared architectural understanding. In scaled Agile environments, effective integration and alignment across multiple teams are crucial for delivering a cohesive product. While centralized control, like Gantt charts or a single integration team, might seem appealing, Agile principles emphasize decentralized decision-making and cross-functional collaboration. Promoting frequent communication through forums like Scrum of Scrums, encouraging cross-team demonstrations, and ensuring a shared understanding of the overall architecture and vision are key Agile mechanisms that facilitate organic integration and alignment without rigid, top-down control. This approach leverages self-organization and transparency across teams. Question 8. A team is in the middle of a sprint when a critical defect is reported in the production environment for a feature delivered in a previous sprint. This defect is causing significant customer impact. What is the most agile way for the team to address this urgent issue? A. Add the defect to the product backlog and prioritize it for a future sprint. B. Stop all current sprint work, fix the defect, and then replan the remainder of the current sprint. C. Immediately swarm on the defect, pulling it into the current sprint, and adjust other sprint tasks as needed. D. Assign the defect to a dedicated maintenance team, allowing the current sprint to continue uninterrupted. Answer: C. Immediately swarm on the defect, pulling it into the current sprint, and adjust other sprint tasks as needed. In Agile, the highest priority is often to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software, which includes quickly addressing critical issues. A critical defect impacting customers demands immediate attention, even if it means disrupting the current sprint. Swarming on the defect means the team collaboratively focuses on resolving it quickly. This typically involves pulling the urgent item into the current sprint, reprioritizing other tasks, and adjusting the sprint forecast, demonstrating adaptability and a commitment to customer value. Waiting or assigning to a separate team might delay resolution. Question 9. An Agile team is consistently struggling to accurately estimate the effort for new user stories, leading to difficulties in sprint planning and forecasting. They use story points for estimation. What technique would best help the team improve their estimation accuracy? A. Conduct a detailed analysis of past project failures to understand reasons for estimation inaccuracies. B. Implement planning poker and regularly review the accuracy of past estimates versus actual effort in retrospectives. C. Mandate that the product owner provide more granular user stories with clear, measurable acceptance criteria. D. Increase the size of the product backlog, allowing more room for error in initial estimates. Answer: B. Implement planning poker and regularly review the accuracy of past estimates versus actual effort in retrospectives. Planning poker is an effective Agile estimation technique where team members use cards to estimate story points, promoting discussion and consensus, which often leads to more accurate estimates. Crucially, regularly reviewing the accuracy of these estimates against the actual effort expended during sprint retrospectives allows the team to learn from their past performance. This process of inspect and adapt, using empirical data, their own velocity and past estimates, helps the team calibrate their understanding of story points and improve their future forecasting abilities. Question 10. A product owner is preparing for an upcoming sprint planning meeting and has identified several new, complex features that need to be developed. The development team expresses concern that these features are not well defined, making it difficult to estimate them for the sprint. What activities should the product owner engage in to prepare adequately? A. Present the features to the team during sprint planning and allow them to refine the details then. B. Work with key stakeholders to create detailed requirement specifications for each feature before the meeting. C. Conduct a dedicated backlog refinement, grooming, session with the development team to break down and clarify the features. D. Prioritize the new features lower in the backlog until more clarity emerges organically during development. Answer: C. Conduct a dedicated backlog refinement, grooming, session with the development team to break down and clarify the features. Before sprint planning, the product owner is responsible for ensuring that product backlog items are ready or DAR. Definition of ready, for the development team to pick up. This typically involves engaging in backlog refinement, also known as backlog grooming, with the team. During this ongoing activity, the product owner and the team collaborate to add details, estimates, and order to product backlog items, breaking down large items into smaller, more manageable user stories that are clear enough for the team to estimate and develop. This collaborative refinement ensures the team understands the work before committing to it in sprint planning. Question 11. An Agile team is experiencing a high degree of technical debt, where quick fixes and shortcuts from previous sprints are now making future development increasingly difficult and slow. What is the best Agile approach for the team to address this accumulating technical debt? A. Schedule a dedicated technical debt sprint to resolve all accumulated issues at once. B. Prioritize technical debt items on the product backlog and address them incrementally in future sprints. C. Delegate technical debt resolution to a separate, specialized maintenance team. D. Ignore technical debt and focus only on delivering new features to maintain velocity. Answer: B. Prioritize technical debt items on the product backlog and address them incrementally in future sprints. Technical debt, while often unseen by end users, represents work that needs to be done to improve the maintainability, scalability, and quality of the product. In Agile, technical debt should be treated like any other work that provides value to the product. The most effective approach is to make technical debt visible, add it to the product backlog as specific items, e.g., refactoring tasks, bug fixes, and then prioritize these items alongside new features based on their impact on future development and overall product health. Addressing it incrementally ensures that development continues to flow while quality improves over time, avoiding the risk of a big bang technical debt sprint. Question 12. A project manager, new to Agile, observes that the Agile team consistently delivers working software at the end of each sprint, but stakeholders frequently remark that the product increments lack a cohesive vision or strategic direction. What fundamental Agile aspect needs immediate attention? A. The daily stand-up is not effective in coordinating daily tasks. B. The product owner needs to clearly articulate and communicate the product vision and sprint goals. C. The team is not performing sufficient unit testing, leading to quality issues. D. The sprint retrospective is not identifying process improvements adequately. Answer: B. The product owner needs to clearly articulate and communicate the product vision and sprint goals. In Agile, particularly Scrum, the product owner is solely responsible for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the development team, which includes clearly articulating the product vision and sprint goals. If stakeholders perceive a lack of cohesive vision despite functional deliveries, it indicates that the product owner might not be effectively communicating this overarching vision or ensuring that individual sprint goals align with it. A strong, shared vision guides the team's incremental work, ensuring that each increment contributes to a larger, coherent whole. Question 13. An Agile project has successfully delivered several increments. However, the project sponsor expresses concern about the cumulative costs and how they align with the original business case. Which Agile practice helps provide ongoing financial oversight and transparency, particularly in large-scale Agile initiatives? A. Fixed-price contracts with suppliers for each increment. B. Detailed earned value management, EVM, analysis at the end of each sprint. C. Regular reviews of actual spend against projected spend for delivered value and frequent re-estimation of remaining work. D. Freezing scope early in the project to control costs. Answer: C. Regular reviews of actual spend against projected spend for delivered value and frequent re-estimation of remaining work. Agile projects embrace iterative planning and adaptive forecasting, which impacts how financial oversight is managed. Instead of rigid upfront budgets, Agile emphasizes inspecting and adapting costs by regularly reviewing actual expenditures in relation to the value delivered and re-estimating the cost to complete the remaining, often evolving, scope. This provides transparency into the financial health of the project at frequent intervals, allowing stakeholders to make informed decisions and adjust investment based on emerging value and changing priorities, rather than relying on a static, long-term financial plan. Question 14. During an Agile project, a key stakeholder continuously changes requirements for features already under development within the current sprint. This behavior is creating significant frustration within the development team and hindering their ability to meet sprint commitments. What should the Scrum Master or Project Manager do? A. Encourage the team to adapt to the changes, as Agile embraces flexibility. B. Document all changes and present them to the Change Control Board for approval. C. Explain the concept of sprint commitment and guide the stakeholder to add new or changed requirements to the product backlog for future prioritization. D. Renegotiate the sprint goal with the stakeholder and the team immediately to accommodate the changes. Answer: C. Explain the concept of sprint commitment and guide the stakeholder to add new or changed requirements to the product backlog for future prioritization. While Agile embraces change, it also respects the sprint commitment. Once the team has committed to a set of work for a sprint, the goal is to protect that commitment to ensure predictability and focus. Continually changing requirements mid-sprint is disruptive and undermines the team's ability to deliver. The project manager or Scrum Master should educate the stakeholder on the Agile process, explaining that new or significantly changed requirements should be added to the product backlog for review and prioritization by the product owner, typically for a future sprint, thus preserving the current sprint's integrity. Question 15. An Agile team has been consistently meeting its sprint goals and delivering valuable increments. However, during retrospectives, team members express concerns about a lack of innovation and feeling creatively stagnant, often delivering just enough to meet the sprint goal. What Agile practice or principle should the team consider emphasizing more? A. Regular backlog refinement to ensure stories are well defined. B. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design. C. Increasing the velocity target to challenge the team to deliver more. D. Implementing stricter quality assurance gates before releasing increments. Answer: B. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design. The Agile Manifesto principle, continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility, directly addresses the need for quality, innovation, and sustainable pace. When a team feels creatively stagnant or delivers just enough, it often indicates they might not be investing sufficiently in refining their craft, exploring better technical solutions, or improving the underlying design of the product. Emphasizing technical excellence encourages experimentation, refactoring, and innovative solutions, which can reignite creativity and lead to higher quality, more maintainable products in the long run. Question 16. A newly formed Agile team is struggling with self-organization. Team members are waiting for the Scrum Master to assign tasks, and decision-making is slow. What should the Scrum Master do to foster greater self-organization? A. Start assigning tasks to individual team members to kickstart productivity. B. Facilitate discussions on team norms, roles, and decision-making processes, stepping back to let the team decide. C. Provide the team with a detailed process document outlining how all decisions should be made. D. Implement a strict set of rules for task allocation and decision-making to reduce ambiguity. Answer: B. Facilitate discussions on team norms, roles, and decision-making processes, stepping back to let the team decide. A core tenet of Agile is that the best architectures, requirements, and designs emerge from self-organizing teams. For a newly formed team struggling with this, the Scrum Master should act as a facilitator and coach, not a dictator. By facilitating discussions about how they want to work together, how they will make decisions, and their respective roles, the Scrum Master empowers the team to create their own operating model. The crucial part is then stepping back and allowing the team to apply these norms, learning from their own experiences, thereby fostering true self-organization. Question 17. An Agile project team has delivered an MVP, minimum viable product, and initial user feedback is positive, indicating a strong product-market fit for the core functionality. The product owner now wants to add a significant number of new features based on this positive feedback. What should be the primary focus for the team going forward, according to Agile principles? A. Immediately begin developing all requested new features to capitalize on momentum. B. Continue to iterate on the MVP, refining existing features and adding only the highest priority new features. C. Conduct a detailed market analysis to validate all new feature requests before proceeding. D. Shift focus to optimizing the development process for faster delivery of all future features. Answer: B. Continue to iterate on the MVP, refining existing features and adding only the highest priority new features. Agile emphasizes iterative and incremental development, focusing on delivering value continuously. After a successful MVP, the natural progression is to build upon that foundation. This means continuing to refine the existing, validated features based on feedback and carefully selecting and adding only the highest priority new features that will deliver the next increment of significant value. It's about maximizing value by building just enough of the most important things, not building everything at once, and using continuous feedback to guide evolution. Question 18. An Agile project team is frequently experiencing scope changes during a sprint due to external factors, causing them to miss sprint goals. The team feels demoralized and unable to commit effectively. What Agile approach should the project manager recommend to help the team manage this volatility while maintaining morale? A. Implement a fixed scope approach for future sprints to prevent any changes. B. Shorten the sprint length to enable quicker adaptation to changes. C. Incorporate a contingency buffer of story points into each sprint. D. Shift to a continuous flow approach like Kanban, where work is pulled based on capacity and priorities. Answer: D. Shift to a continuous flow approach like Kanban, where work is pulled based on capacity and priorities. When a team faces frequent, unpredictable scope changes that disrupt sprint commitments, a time-boxed framework like Scrum might not be the best fit. Kanban, a continuous flow Agile method, is designed to handle high volatility and frequent changes gracefully. With Kanban, work is pulled from the backlog only when the team has capacity, and work in progress, WIP, limits ensure focus. This allows for immediate prioritization of emergent work without the expectation of meeting a fixed sprint goal, making it highly adaptable to fluctuating environments and reducing team frustration from missed commitments. Question 19. A development team using Scrum reports that they are consistently unable to integrate their code changes frequently, leading to large, risky merges at the end of sprints. This often introduces new bugs and delays the done increment. What Agile practice should the Scrum Master encourage to address this issue? A. Pair programming for all coding tasks to reduce individual errors. B. Test-driven development, TDD, to ensure code quality from the start. C. Continuous integration, CI, to merge code frequently and automatically test it. D. Increasing the definition of done to include stricter testing requirements. Answer: C. Continuous integration, CI, to merge code frequently and automatically test it. The problem described, large, risky merges and new bugs due to infrequent code integration, is a classic symptom that continuous integration, CI, is either absent or not being effectively utilized. Continuous integration is an Agile engineering practice where developers frequently merge their code changes into a central repository, usually multiple times a day. Each merge is then verified by an automated build and automated tests. This practice identifies integration issues early and frequently, making them easier and less risky to fix, ultimately leading to a more stable and consistently done increment. Question 20. A PMP certified project manager is leading an Agile initiative. During a sprint retrospective, the team identifies a recurring impediment, dependency on an external vendor for critical technical decisions, which causes significant delays. What is the most proactive Agile approach for the project manager to address this impediment? A. Escalate the issue to senior management to pressure the vendor for faster responses. B. Formulate a detailed service level agreement, SLA, with the vendor to hold them accountable. C. Facilitate discussions with the team and stakeholders to explore alternatives, such as building internal capability or pre-approving common decisions. D. Add a buffer time to all tasks dependent on the vendor to account for potential delays. Answer: C. Facilitate discussions with the team and stakeholders to explore alternatives, such as building internal capability or pre-approving common decisions. In Agile, addressing impediments proactively means looking for systemic solutions, not just reactive measures. While escalation or SLAs might have a place, the project manager, acting as a servant leader, should first facilitate problem solving within the team and with relevant stakeholders. This empowers the team to think creatively about how to reduce or eliminate the dependency, for example, by gradually building internal expertise, delegating certain decision-making authority, or creating pre-approved decision frameworks. This approach focuses on improving flow and reducing future reliance on external bottlenecks. Question 21. A product owner is struggling to prioritize the product backlog. They have a long list of features, but are unsure which ones will deliver the most value to the customer. What Agile technique or concept should the product owner use to effectively order the backlog? A. Assign story points to all items and prioritize based on the highest story point value. B. Order items based on their complexity, prioritizing simpler items first for quick wins. C. Use value-driven prioritization techniques, considering business value, risk, and dependencies. D. Delegate prioritization completely to the development team, as they understand the effort involved. Answer: C. Use value-driven prioritization techniques, considering business value, risk, and dependencies. The product owner's primary responsibility is to maximize the value of the product, which is achieved by effectively prioritizing the product backlog. Simply prioritizing by story points or complexity alone does not ensure maximum value. Instead, the product owner should use value-driven techniques that consider multiple factors, such as the business value each feature delivers, the risks associated with it, and any technical dependencies. Techniques like weighted shortest job first, WSJF, Kano model, or minimum marketable features, MMF, help to objectively assess and order the backlog to ensure the most valuable items are delivered first. Question 22. A PMP certified project manager is overseeing an Agile project, and during a recent retrospective, the development team highlighted that they often struggle to understand the why behind certain features, leading to less effective solutions. What action should the project manager or product owner take to address this? A. Encourage the team to rely solely on the written user stories for their understanding. B. Facilitate more direct interaction between the development team and end users or stakeholders. C. Provide detailed technical specifications for every feature to eliminate ambiguity. D. Conduct regular, formal training sessions on the product domain for the development team. Answer: B. Facilitate more direct interaction between the development team and end users or stakeholders. In Agile, the development team needs to understand the why to truly deliver the best solution and innovate. Relying only on written user stories or technical specifications can sometimes miss the deeper context or business problem. By facilitating direct interaction between the development team and end users or stakeholders, the team gains first-hand insight into the challenges users face, their motivations, and the actual problems to be solved. This deep understanding empowers the team to propose more effective, valuable, and innovative solutions, fulfilling the Agile principle of motivated individuals and face-to-face conversation. Question 23. An Agile team recently delivered a software increment, but during the sprint review, a key stakeholder expressed concern that the user interface, UI, design, while functional, lacked consistency and aesthetic appeal across different features. The team claimed they built exactly what was requested in the user stories. What might be missing from the team's definition of done? A. The inclusion of unit tests for all completed features. B. Criteria related to user experience, UX, and design consistency. C. Acceptance from the product owner for all delivered items. D. Performance benchmarks for the completed software. Answer: B. Criteria related to user experience, UX, and design consistency. The definition of done, DoD, is a shared understanding of what it means for work to be complete, ensuring quality and readiness for release. If a product increment is functional but lacks consistency or aesthetic appeal, it suggests that these non-functional requirements related to user experience, UX, and overall design quality were not sufficiently captured or emphasized within the DoD. By incorporating criteria such as meets design guidelines, consistent UI, or user experience approved into the DoD, the team would be prompted to consider and deliver these aspects as part of their completed work for every feature. Question 24. A product owner consistently adds items to the sprint backlog mid-sprint, citing urgent new priorities from stakeholders. This leads to the team frequently missing its sprint goal and feeling demotivated. What is the most appropriate action for the Scrum Master to take? A. Coach the product owner on the importance of sprint commitment and protecting the development team from external changes during a sprint. B. Report the product owner's behavior to their functional manager for disciplinary action. C. Encourage the development team to simply refuse new items during a sprint, regardless of urgency. D. Facilitate a meeting between the product owner and the stakeholders to challenge their urgency. Answer: A. Coach the product owner on the importance of sprint commitment and protecting the development team from external changes during a sprint. The Scrum Master's role is to serve and coach the product owner, the development team, and the organization in understanding and enacting Scrum. In this scenario, the product owner is undermining the sprint commitment, which is crucial for team focus and predictability. The most appropriate action is for the Scrum Master to coach the product owner on the purpose of the sprint, the value of protecting the team's focus during the sprint, and how unplanned mid-sprint changes typically lead to missed goals and demotivation. The Scrum Master should guide the product owner on how to effectively manage stakeholder expectations and integrate new priorities through proper backlog refinement. Question 25. An Agile team is working on a complex system with many dependencies. The team finds it difficult to track the overall progress and forecast future releases effectively. What Agile artifact or practice would be most beneficial for visualizing and communicating this overarching progress? A. A detailed Gantt chart maintained by the project manager. B. A burn-down chart for each sprint. C. A product roadmap with releases and their corresponding features. D. A daily stand-up meeting to discuss individual task progress. Answer: C. A product roadmap with releases and their corresponding features. While sprint burn-down charts track short-term progress within a sprint, and daily stand-ups focus on daily coordination, these do not provide a high-level view of the overall project or product evolution. A product roadmap is an Agile artifact that visualizes the product's strategic direction over time, outlining planned releases, key features, and major themes. It helps communicate the long-term vision and progress to stakeholders, showing how incremental deliveries contribute to the larger product goals, making it excellent for tracking overarching progress and forecasting future releases in a complex system.